This week we're talking about white shoes. There are all sorts of rules about white shoes. In America, I think it's something about no white shoes after Labor Day, which I think is the beginning of September. I'm not even that clear. But in England, it's always been you just can't wear them because it's just Essex girl snobbery, really, the whole anti-white shoe brigade. This year, however, has seen the white shoe make a comeback. I'm wearing a fairly full-on pair of Jimmy Choos myself to prove my point. And I think probably the reason being that shoes have just got so ridiculous and every possible aspect of the shoe has been pushed beyond all reasonable distance. The platform, the colour, the decoration, everything, that almost the only frontier that we hadn't crossed was the white shoe, that sort of terrible fashion faux pas. How to wear a white shoe? I think probably the one rule, at the risk of sounding like a really awful fashion snob that I've just been snobbish about, is I think not with a short skirt, because I just think it has bad connotations and you probably want to stay away from that. So I think with like a rolled up trouser or a kind of, you know, medium length skirt, then I think it's a fun summer look. I mean, why not? So we've got 6 high street pairs of white shoes here. None of your absolute classic white stiletto, I have to say, sorry about that. But we do have these which are by Nelly. Now this is a version of, a tribute to, do we say, the Louis Vuitton steel-capped stilettos that are on the catwalk for summer, and so still just about in the shops now, which came in white and in pastel colours like this kind of colour and a pale pink. And it's quite fun, the steel toe-cap stiletto, because it's just giving a very different edge to something that we think is a very ladylike, dainty shoe. It's quite fun. And I always like this dorsey style where it cuts out the inside part of your foot, because it's just quite a nice, attractive part of your foot, really. I think probably a lot nicer than your toes for most people, and not shown off enough. So there you go, dorsey cut, my big tip for shoe sex appeal. Quite like these ones. These are Zara. I'm not sure these are really white, sort of off-white. And I quite like this kind of, they've got a little stripy bit here and on the heel, so it's more of a sort of natural hue in between a tan shoe and a white shoe. I think those could be very useful for a summer sandal. These ones, Nelly again, these weigh a ton. I mean, I just picked them up and sort of slightly fell over. They have got that kind of 4x4 platform, but it kind of pushes such an extent that I actually think they're quite jolly, and I do love that heel. I'm a sucker for a good heel, because I think flashing that when you walk away is just a good way to say goodbye to things, really. Love those ones. Over here we have Russell & Bromley. Now this is a wedge. If you're going to do a nice summer shoe, and the white shoe is probably a summer shoe because otherwise we're going to get into the tights issue, and I don't even know where to start with that, then a wedge is always handy because you can walk on the grass. And this has an ankle strap, and they are definitely the kind of shoes that a year ago I think you would have thought, oh no, those are ridiculous, but now I'm thinking they kind of look like they might be worth a shot. And then lastly, this really is the new age of the white shoe. This is the kind of white shoe that we didn't see first time around. This is Topshop doing a kind of Stella McCartney meets Nicholas Kirkwood homage with one of those crazy platforms and the sort of sporty mesh cutout. And again, you're going to be quite tall. Futuristic white high heels.